As you can see, I have Jane Austen t-shirt on. It's a beautiful sunny day today. I am so happy. I'm just going to let you have a quick view out the window. Stephanie and welcome to Book Blurbs and Blahs, and today, as the title suggests, I'm going to be talking about Jane Austen books. Whether you like them, loathe them, indifferent, let's just get started. So on my bookshelf I don't have many Jane Austen books. I do remember we tried to read one of her books at school, probably Emma, and then I bought it later to try and revisit it. Don't think we ever finished it off in school, and I've ever finished it off at home either. This is the Penguin Popular Classics Jane Austen book. Probably got this second hand somewhere many years ago. And I have tried revisiting this book. I really struggle with Jane Austen books. And I know that's not a great introduction to this video, but I do struggle with them and I don't know what it is. I think it's the writing style. I think it's the scenes that have been set. This romanticised period of time where there's hardship for those who've still got money, and you don't really see the peasants of the time, you just see the wealthy, and of course that's what Jane Austen lived around and surrounded herself around, so that is what she is going to write about, of course. I don't know why, but I've watched the adaptations of her books and I prefer the adaptations as it happens. I don't mind Emma as an adaptation, but I don't like the storyline. I don't like the matchmaking side of it, and I don't like the way she interferes with people. And I probably think that's why I get a bit upset by her story, particularly Emma. Just my opinion. Maybe some people find that fun and the matchmaking side of it fun, but I really, no, I don't. So next is Northanger Abbey. I read this about a month or so ago. I think I read it around Christmas time. And this is one of the first Jane Austen books I actually completed. And I didn't mind this book, I actually enjoyed it. It was a little bit, I think this is one of her first books that she ever wrote. And you can tell that because it's not as complicated. And the protagonist in this story is somewhat annoying, naive, but I guess that's the point of the story. So I didn't mind it, I got through it. It's not like it's a meaty book in any shape or form. I did almost DNF it. I couldn't help myself, but I thought no, this is going to be one of the books I actually read. And like I said, it's very simple, very easy to read. It's not her elaborate style of writing. And yeah, I didn't mind it, didn't love it, just didn't mind it. And that's Northanger Abbey for you. Next is Mansfield Park, and this is a cloth bound edition. I'm not sure which edition this is. Again, I picked this up a long time ago. Hate the feeling of cloth bound books. Just hate it. It's like somebody grating nails down a blackboard, which I don't mind. I prefer that to cloth bound. books. Just the whole feeling of it's wrong. Anyway, I have started reading this at some point. Probably about 2 years ago. Still haven't finished it. I'm about a third through it. And I didn't mind this book. I just haven't finished it. I think I had to be in the mood for it. I mean, it's quite, there's a lot going on in the story, if I recall. And it just had to, because I was having so many interruptions, it was really difficult to read and get my head into it. So I think I will revisit this book, try and start from the beginning, because I need to revisit the characters, because I seem to remember there's a lot of characters. And somewhere along the line, I'm going to have to write all the different characters down so I actually remember who's who, because there's a lot. And I don't know who they are and what they're doing. I just know they're all in the Abbey. They're all at Mansfield Park. And Jane Austen does like to have stories based on bigger estates around the wealthy people, and they all have these elaborate conversations that they can be quite funny and amusing. And I'm not saying Jane Austen isn't a good writer. She is a very good writer. I just think for me it's the themes that she uses and the settings that she uses, which for me, I don't know, just doesn't sit right with me. But that's not to say I'm not willing to give Jane Austen another go. This particular book was published in 1992. So my mother-in-law used to own a number of first editions of Jane Austen books, and she gave them away. She just gave them away to the neighbour, who then sold them on. So who knows how much those books were actually worth. But I can't believe she had Jane Austen first editions. It's like, oh, and you never told anybody? She told us after the fact. Anyway, the last book that I have is Pride and Prejudice, and hence the Mr. Darcy. I got this actually from Once Upon a Time book box. I don't think it was a Christmas book box. I think it was an earlier one, about a year or so ago. And they had really, really nice stuff in there, and this t-shirt came in there. So that's where I got this t-shirt from. So Pride and Prejudice, this I had gifted to me. My husband bought it for me for my birthday, not last year, the year before. Still haven't read this. This is one that I really, really want to get to. I'm hoping to get to this one this year. I think I'll enjoy this. I do like the adaptations of this book. I think it's going to be a fun read because I've already got the pictures and the story in my mind, so I don't think I'm going to find this. As I said, the Jane Austen Pride and Prejudice film adaptation is one that I've watched over and over again. So it's not that I don't like, it's just I think it translates better on the TV somehow. Or at least the directors of the making of the films have just been very good, and they just understand how to adapt this book into a movie. But yeah, that's kind of my Jane Austen opinion. I think some books are hit and miss. I've only read the one book, which is this one. It's a nice copy actually, Northanger Abbey. So I've only read this one, the Northanger Abbey. This one I've never read and I hope to read. Emma is one that I've always been thoroughly disappointed by, and I've always DNF'd, and I will try again at some point. Maybe now I'm a bit older, I might appreciate it a bit more. I don't know. And then Mansfield Park, which I didn't mind as it happens. I think this is one of her better books, better written books and better storylines. I think it's because there's a lot of conversation going on. It's just that there's a lot of characters I've got to seem to kind of remember. But I do find her protagonist really, really annoying. Emma, one of them. And the one in Northanger Abbey was really annoying as well. So maybe it's the protagonist. I don't know. I think there's a whole combination of reason why I'm not a big fan of Jane Austen. I know I promised. No, I didn't promise. I know I mentioned on my last video, or one of my videos last week, that I would try and do a Monday and Friday video, and I know I've already failed. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment. I'd like to hear your views. I know people can sit on the fence with Jane Austen. Some of them love her, some of them don't like her. I think I sit on the fence with her work. And yeah, I hope to see you next time.